Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today, spawning in the southeast corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got Whammo1, playing as the House of Lancaster. And before I introduce the next player, look at this. It's a barracks opening. I've not seen this, well, ever really for the House of Lancaster. Super exciting. Of course, lots of changes. We'll come on to that in just a moment because Wham is going to be up against Louis MT in red as the Sengoku Daimyo. Welcome everyone to Cliffside. Now, I'm pretty excited to showcase this one because, of course, a different map. We're used to seeing a lot of dry raid, but it's nice on occasions to get some different maps, and we've got one today, and what an opening. So, going to be getting some spearmen out nice and early. We do have a lot to talk about, by the way. The new changes with the patch for the House of Lancaster. I mean, a lot of people have asked for nerfs, right, for the mana. It's been a bit awkward for them in terms of how good it's been. And the developers have reworked things, but you know what, I think they've actually boosted and buffed them for the early game, which is crazy, right? I mean, like, House of Lancaster didn't need buffing, but inadvertently, because of the restructuring, the reworking of the mana system, it's actually buffed their first mana. We'll maybe come on to that in just a moment, because what we really need to focus on is what Wham decides he's wanting to pressure here. It's going to be the gold, right? He has to. Going to send the spearman right there, and the opening for the Sengoku Daimyo has been the Matsuri, so punishing this is quite interesting, right? Because this is a new building, which most civilizations don't have to invest 100 wood into something this early, and Wham taking full advantage of that because there's not even a forge here yet for Louis MT, let alone any gold gathering, and he needs that gold to get to the next stage. Now, of course, the Matsuri does act as a drop-off point, increases the aura of the villager gather rate, and also gets the yatai to get more food, but the big problem for Louis is not food at this point, it's gold. And double gold being on this side as well, one spearman guard each, is a little bit troublesome. Now, either way, I hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and a special shout out to the YouTube channel members and the Twitch subscribers. Thank you for the extra support. It really goes a long way to help me out as a content creator, I've got to say, so thanks so much. Now, the yatai is going out to, looks like probably the deer camp. Could potentially go to the boar, because that's exactly what the Sengoku Daimyo can see nice and early. We're 2.5 minutes into the game, and there's been absolutely zero gold collected for Louis MT. That's wild. I mean, does he even know about this at this point? I think, well, he must have seen the barracks, right? I guess now is a good time to think about the changes that have been made for the mana. So, they have had an increase of 25 wood cost for the mana, but don't let that fool you, because now it acts as a drop-off point, so you don't have to make a lumber camp or mill, which shaves off 50 wood. So if anything, you're up 25 wood. Also, it gives you population space, so you don't have to make as many houses. Again, save on wood. So if anything, it's actually buffed there for the first mana. The big thing, really, is that the gather rate for the mana has been severely reduced. But, to give you the numbers, well, in terms of the food gathering, it used to be, I believe it was, 60 food and 45 wood as the base gather rate for it. But it's now gone to 30 food and 10 wood per minute. So essentially that's a dropping of, what, 30... Well, quick maths is a bit tricky on... well, we'll tickle that this first because there's a bit of an outpost push going on and trying to get the outpost down Louis to survive and to get that gold. But, I mean, he will get it in the end, but not without casualties, and he might even lose a villager. I think he might just actually, the spearman committing. There are 3 of them, by the way. He does lose a villager. Some nice pickings there early on. Yeah, but back to the maths. So, yeah, essentially 35 wood reduction per minute and 30 food. So that's a big chunk of change. 75 resources per minute less. But the bigger thing is that now the manas actually generate resources depending on how many villagers are within the aura. So each villager gives you 4 food and 2 wood. And so if you could do the quick maths on it, that's also like 6 resources per minute compared to the 75 you're dropping. So about 11 villagers is what you need to get in the aura of the mana before you break even to what the mana used to be. But more than that, and you're actually making a gain. And guess what? Likelihood is that you've got enough villagers to go beyond, 11, 12 within the range of the mana. So the first mana is going to be saving you wood on the drop-off buildings, going to be saving wood on housing, and the first mana is going to be gathering you more resources than the first mana used to be. So that's kind of crazy, right? Now, obviously it changes when you add more manas, because the villages can't overlap. So yeah, granted, the next mana is going to be a bit tricky to break even to what the mana used to be. You need about 11 villagers to do so. But really, it's kind of awkward to have this early game boost. I guess it's compensating because it means now you can't just spam 9 manas in a small area and get lots of resources as standard. So overall, in the long term, it's definitely a nerf, obviously. But in the short term, in the early game, it's definitely a buff. And that's what's actually supplying all the resources that will be following this push up. Because it's trying to get an outpost, and it probably will in the end. I don't think it's quite in range, but it's coming out to torch. But yeah, I mean, he's got spearmen in range here now to get in the way of that. So that will be okay. Now, double out. Yeah, he cancels it in the end. Maybe could place it a little bit further back. Potentially. He might just retreat. Yeah, he's going to go further back to the deer. An interesting opening for sure. Not something we see all that often. But let's take a look. Look. This is the proof is in the pudding, we say. The aura here is covering all but one villager, which is on stone, right? So this is actually 24 villagers. Was it 24 or was that 21? 22. So this is going to be giving... I think it's taking a bit of time to catch up here. I'm pretty sure this is going to rise. Yeah, it's slowly rising. 77 food per minute and 34 wood. So compared to what it would usually be, which is 60 food per minute and 45 wood per minute. And I'm pretty sure this is going to keep going up, by the way. I think it just takes a bit of time to readjust. We'll check on that in just a moment. But the Sengoku Daimyo going for the Cocker Township. Going to go for the Shinobi. Not a bad play, especially if you're up against this pressure, right? From the House of Lancaster. And there is the Lord accompanying this villager. Cycling around the other side, the spearmen, to see what value they can get. Let's take a look at this again. So yeah, look at that. 99 food per minute and 51 wood per minute. So, far more. And it keeps going up. It keeps going up. It's obviously far, far more than the first mana would have got, in the olden days, I should say. Now, the thing about the Shinobi, though, they're more of a support unit. As you can see, not even really doing much damage to the villager. It's a unit that reduces the movement speed of the enemy and increases the damage it suffers. So you need to, basically need units around it to attack at the same time. Interestingly, going for a man in the forward position as well. So looking to get the deer and the food off the map. Yeah, really aggressive play here from Wham. And I like it. Certainly looks to be a new style of playing House of Lancaster. The question is, what do the Sengoku Daimyo go for? It's gone for the Takeda clan and the Oda clan Daimyo states. So going to go for cavalry, and also more importantly, go for the Daimyo melee cavalry hero. It's a pretty cool one. It's going to be increasing the amount of attack speed of nearby allied units. And there's also an upgrade for him, I believe, that you can get to, to make that even better. So I believe it starts at 20% extra attack speed, and you can go up to 40. Which is pretty wild. Alright, getting some arrow slits here for the House of Lancaster. Just denying food, right? And this is a big thing because it's going to force the Sengoku Daimyo into farms earlier than perhaps he would have wanted to. And that's just going to be better for Wham. And behind all this aggression, by the way, he's managed to get to the castle age, going with the White Tower. The timing on this is absolutely... How has he afforded all this? What is going on? Now, tell me this is not busted, right? This is a big reason why he's been able to do this. He's been able to produce Dark Age Spearmen, a couple of them at that, get an outpost up, get manners up, and still get to the castle age at, well, at least start building it at 8.5 minutes. Whereas Louis hasn't even been able to place the foundations of his castle age building just yet. Going to be increasing the cavalry speed, which is going to be great because it's more about, I mean, yeah, 10% is a good amount as an increase, but it's more about what it offers you compared to your opponent. Because if your cavalry moves faster than theirs, you can always chase them down. That means the mobility will be in your favor. So here we go, the Daimyo melee cavalry. Yeah, increases the attack speed by 10% actually in the feudal age, 15% in the castle age, 20% in the imperial age. So it does scale. So a bit of a correction there on what I mentioned earlier. Not just one standard increase, it depends on the age that you're in. Going for a specialized pick as an upgrade, so he really wants the gold income here. Wham. Let's take a look at the second mana, because it's not going to be... There's a couple of villages here we'll be working with the second mana. Yeah, so not quite what, standard old mana would have been. But the primary one kind of more than covers for that, right? Like, by a lot. So these probably even out as it happens. It's just the initial mana offers so much. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if any further changes will happen with this. I imagine it probably will, but time will tell. And we've got the Temple of Equality for the Sengoku Daimyo. Looking to maybe get some of the relics on the field. No monastery just yet for the House of Lancaster. It's certainly been a fascinating time to be an Age of Empires 4 fan, right? The new DLC coming in with new 4 variant civilizations. Exciting times. I think we're going to have a blast with it. It's brought me back to casting Age of Empires 4 at least. And I hope the numbers go well because, yeah, it was a combination of things really that I stopped casting. It was a combination of things like the meta being pretty stale, the viewership not being like phenomenal or particularly amazing. But the viewership's climbed so much, and I do run a few other channels as well, YouTube channels, so my time was kind of spread a bit thinly. I've got a Dawn of War Central channel, which is kind of, I'm looking forward to that game for sure. Another RTS upcoming in 2026. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying Age of Empires 4, so hopefully plenty more content coming on the way. I mean, there's so much to theory craft with 4 variant civilizations. Not only is it 4 civilizations, but it's about the interaction with all the existing civilizations as well, right? So that's pretty fun. Night diving on in. And it's going to be cavalry for Wham, and understand me, so when you've been so aggressive early on, you kind of want to keep the momentum with the movement speed of your units and your armies. The movement speed of which these shinobi are trying to stop. Quite a few cavalry heading the field. Wham's pumping out units. Now, the shinobi, they're free, but they don't last forever. They do have a cooldown on them. Running into trouble here, Wham. But the knights are pretty tanky, so not suffering to the town centre arrow fire too much. Well, it does lose, I think that's a knight and a scout. Some big pickings there for the Daimyo. Yeah, Wham just heading back. I wonder if he's going to go for the knight crossbow kind of army composition. It's a real fearsome one for the House of Lancaster for sure. Well, there's the monastery in any case. Now would be a good time to try and challenge for some of those relics. I mean, this is a pretty safe and secure one for him. It's a nice one for sure. Wonder if he's going to be able to get... I imagine Wham should get the rub of the green in terms of the relic counts. He's just got a lot of map control. Although, I think now this is going to be the focus for both players. Like, you see Louis definitely going for it. He wants to burn this tower down, but he's going to get the fortification. That will help a lot, but the question is whether they can get it in time, because the torches are out. The House of Lancaster are putting their lords on the front positions. I don't know if he can keep this alive. We'll have to see how he manages this situation. Where there are villages repairing though after all, so that certainly helps. He's buying himself some time. Definitely needs a couple more units, although to be fair, this isn't a great fight for Louis. Although he's going to be able to maybe snipe out one of the Lancaster's lords. There he goes. Unfortunate for him, but the fortification is in and the villages are repairing, so that's nice for him for sure. I guess this is all worth it for Wham though, if he can secure the relics, because that's what the Daimyo are kind of busy with doing. And if he does lose all this production, it's a decent chunk of, resources here. Yeah, I think this is going to go down now. Like, I find it very difficult to keep this alive. But I think there's Ikko Ikki monks, yeah. So the Ikko Ikki monks are really cool. Like, they don't have an ability on them. Obviously, apart from the Wallow, obviously, every monk gets that. But the way that it works and heals the allied units is by attacking. So it can attack. While it's attacking, it heals your own units. It's pretty nifty. Now, adding in the crossbows, I don't know if they're going to come in time. That's the question. He needs a lot more to really push this away, because there's a lot of mounted samurai. Yeah, I don't think it's going to quite work. And to be fair, although I thought this was relatively safe, it turns out it will be going for Louis MT, this relic. He's managed to snag it. Yeah, not enough army there for Wham. The economy has come online for the Sengoku Daimyo, courtesy of the 25% gather rate in the aura of the Matsuri. Although there's not really much happening there, so it's a bit unfortunate. I mean, it is a pretty big aura, but unfortunately not really helping him too much. Kills all the villagers though, at least. Alright, these buildings will be going, so it's about Wham's ability now to regroup and recuperate. One relic apiece. The army value is just certainly better for the Sengoku Daimyo. These mounted samurai are incredibly powerful, and He's up to level 1 as well with the Oda clan. Interesting choice. Could potentially go for crossbow. I'm not sure actually what he decides to go with this. I don't think... Maybe Tanegashima. Ashigaru, probably. The hand cannon versions, essentially, for this civilization. It's a good option for them. Might be charging in through here, Louis. He's managed to fight off the early aggression from the House of Lancaster. Now potentially going to be aggressive himself. Running into a spring order placement. This is obviously a different thing to deal with. The other tower in the forward position only had arrow slits, and this is a big difference, of course. The springald ship, not ships rather, the springald emplacement, much more adept at dealing with cavalry and heavily armored units than the arrow slits, of course. Wham, keeping his army active. A group of knights here around the back could get some good raiding damage, although there's nothing on the wood line. The wood line's here, really, if anything. He's heading that direction now, but so is Louis MT. He wants to be aggressive himself and could potentially attack this gold vein. That could be problematic if Wham doesn't spot it. I hope for his sake he does. Second relic in play for Wham. Shinobi drafted on in at home. Oh, that's a long distance to walk for the mining. He needs to replace that, Louis. On these villagers. There we go. He will be replacing that. He's waiting to pounce. Here we go. Let's follow these dudes. They're going to charge on in. Oh, he's not reacting quick. Oh, to be fair, not a bad reaction. Loses one villager. And it's about as quick as you can get, really, considering the amount of notification you get. Could have been a lot worse. Oh. And Wham, unfortunately not able to get the kill, is able to retreat to the outpost. That's the importance of having these outposts in the pocket areas here with the berries, the deer, the exposed resources. You always want to get an outpost if you can. You can always save a villager that way. Oh, loses a knight here, Wham. Yeah, okay, interesting choice. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Keep your infantry back at home. Keep the cavalry running around. That's how you can keep active on the map, and eventually, I imagine the game plan for Wham is to build up a force big enough that he can just push on out. But look at the reduction in movement speed caused by the Shinobi. It's such a good support unit that way. In any case, the cavalry for the Mounted Samurai will be faster. 1.79 versus 1.62. I think he's actually got the first upgrade from the Takeda. Check that in just a moment. Don't want to look away from this fight. Oh, look at this bit of a push in for the Mounted Samurai as well. Getting a couple of villagers. Nicely done there by Louis. This is a clean up here as well. But the unit number is still looking really good for Wham. It's mostly infantry and kind of scattered, which is a bit difficult for him. I guess he's kind of want to get some walls up. Oh, could get a good 3 pickings here. If he went around the wrong way of the stone vein. He does get one knight in the end at least. But yeah, this is getting kind of scary. We've got level 2 of the Takeda, and also got the movement speed, the cavalry movement speed by 10%. Now, unlikely to get this upgrade for the Ari cavalry, but the Adachi could be nice here. Imagine 4+ damage against infantry. That's something he obviously really wants. He needs the Takeda clan 3 for that. Oh, bit ambitious that monk. I guess he who dares wins. I guess not in his scenario though, but yeah, in many scenarios. Yeah, I love the fact that Louis has been able to wall up this side because it enables him just to focus on 2 avenues, right? The middle and the north area. Just keeps cavalry active. He needs to be careful with his army not to pull him out of position too much. Ikko Ikki monks. Take care of that. Bit of an engagement here. I mean, there's a lot of crossbows now for Wham, so as long as his army's in a good spot and position, he'll be fine. The trouble is if he kind of gets caught out of position, these Mounted Samurai could do a lot. So I'm kind of expecting to see some walls maybe from Wham, just to reduce the amount of mobility his enemy's got. Now behind all of this, the Sengoku Daimyo has managed to get 3 of the relics. So whilst it was a very interesting opening for the House of Lancaster, the question is, did it really achieve a lot? I'm not sure that it did, because, I mean, when you think about the early aggression that way, you think about how much damage you've done, like to villager kills, that kind of thing. It didn't really achieve too much. But the other way you can really make it pay off is if you manage to get the rub of the green of the relics, like get the most of the relics really, because that's going to help you for the rest of the game. And, well, the Sengoku Daimyo got 3 versus 2. Definitely an interesting opening. Certainly something to explore, and I think Wham's onto something. It did delay the Sengoku Daimyo quite significantly. Alright, looks like Wham feels it's go time. He feels confident with his army mass that he shouldn't get caught out in an unfavorable fight, right? Because that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to move out with a force you feel like you're not confident winning fights with. Because if you do that, there's no retreat often. Mounted Samurai just bothering the villagers here. He's got to be careful whilst he's being aggressive on the front lines that he doesn't look away from the safety of his villagers. And dive on in. He's actually hoarding quite a lot of food and gold, Louis. I wonder whether he's thinking about the Imperial Age. He'll be very greedy to do so. Villagers here on the manor. Need to be careful. Villagers and farms too. There's not much here. There's not much garrison or space. This could be a big pick-off actually for Louis. He might get a lot of villagers if he just goes a little bit west. Same token. Louis trying to find the food eco. There's a lot of food eco there to be had. 5 spots in the Springwood outpost, but uh-oh. Oh, Louis, if he spots that. Oh, Wham noticed it first. Now he notices it now, and he should be able to get... Oh, wait, where are you guys going? Oh, the walls. The walls, but there's not enough there. He's going to get through in the end. Oh, no, Wham, he's going to lose a lot. This is actually devastating for him. Around the backside here as well. But this is not... Oh, wait, has he just been undone by his own walls? Okay, he split off, so... Oh, it's still so devastating there, right? Second TC came out for Louis, so his villager count has been rising, but it's mostly because the differential is caused by how many villagers that Louis has killed. He's killed 22 so far. He will take the second town centre down. I think it's a worthwhile commitment. He might lose some units doing so, but it's definitely worth it. The villagers here all perished very, very quickly. Oh, he might get some good kills here if he can catch up to the villagers. No, but managing to get away. I mean, okay, this is not a terrible fight, but obviously eventually this will die for Wham. It's just about how much value he gets, and with the number of crossbows he's got, it's not going to be terrible. And he's got spearmen as well. It's the direct counter. He's going to go for this, Louis. He'll clear it up in the end, but it's a relatively good trade, I think, for Wham. It's not too terrible. There's a really healthy number of crossbows. A lot of Ikko Ikki monks. He's trying something here. Well, these are a pain to deal with, aren't they? Because they just heal each other up. That's kind of funny. The question is he going to be able to get these units back home? Random villagers here for Wham. Oh, those are the ones that almost died, right? Yeah, it's got another Matsuri. Yeah, these units are kind of stranded. I'm kind of curious to see if Wham makes any switches to cavalry. I imagine not, because it feels like the Sengoku Daimyo with the Mounted Samurai just have better cavalry, right? Faster movement speed, got extra health as well. By being the Takeda clan, it's got an extra 10% health on these guys because of that. Shinobis, get the grenades out. Okay, so it's going to be just about as how much Wham can do with this unit cluster. Probably going to start focus firing before too long, trying to just take down the numbers down as much as possible. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, right? It could have been a lot worse. He's done some significant damage, but alas, they're all gone. But he took a lot of the Sengoku Daimyo units with him. No, Louis is down to 15 military. It's not a lot. But I think the big thing in the last sort of 5 minutes or so was the villager pickoffs here. Really devastated Wham's economy. But you have to bear in mind, like, even though it has been nerfed, these manors are still gathering resources, right? It's important to consider. But I guess, in one way, when we talk about the changes to the mana system, I mean, a big part of the reason why the villagers were out here anyway, I mean, to be fair, he probably would have been out there getting gold, so the fact that the mana's there is not really a big thing, it just replaces the mining camp. The lack of outposts kind of hurt him there. Well, he had one, but maybe needed some more. But Wham is by no means out of this game, not by any stretch of the imagination. And it's because of his army numbers. Like, his economy numbers are clearly dwindling and struggling, and it's going to get a lot worse with these Mounted Samurai running around. Down to 49 villagers. He's got to find a way to deal with these Mounted Samurai. They've been causing all sorts of trouble. He will get away with the bulk of them. The seem to be kind of like running around with headless chickens. Oh, there it is. There's the Adachi coming in. Mounted Samurai Adachi. Bear in mind as well now, these Mounted Samurai, well, the new ones at least, will have the barrier on them. If you take a look, the level 3, it gives them access to the deflective armor. But it's only with the new ones you make, not with the existing ones. It's a bit of a sad situation, but it's understandable. It'd be kind of crazy if it... Like, imagine all these cavalry units just got a shield on them. In any case... I'm pretty sure that's the case. Okay, so yeah, here we are. See, you can see some of the new cavalry units have got the deflective armor, and this is going to be so powerful. So it makes a lot of sense for Louis to... Or Wham, rather, to go for crossbows. I think that's really what he's going to want to get. Some spearmen for the front line as well, of course, to brace. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting match. Like, it's going to turn into a situation where Wham's going to just try and brute force his way down the middle and hope he doesn't, like, totally die at home. I mean, ultimately, some of the economy is still in buildings, right? So there's only so much that Louis can fully harm the economy by killing villagers. Like, some of the economy will still be, protected as buildings for the House of Lancaster, despite the nerf. And I think that's probably one way that the nerf has helped the whole situation with the House of Lancaster. You can still... You get more value from raiding, right? Before you could raid and kill villagers, but actually, still, the House of Lancaster just wouldn't die. But they're going to feel it a bit more now. Yeah, he's just sending everything. Holy smokes, he's sending so many units. It looks like Louis is thinking about Imperial Age. He's almost there. In fact, he's there now. Just needs to place the foundations of the buildings. And this could be devastating. Oh, the timing on this. An interesting position for it too. Got down the south. Now this is a cool one. It increases the Daimyo attack speed bonus by 20%. So when he's in the Imperial Age, it's already going to be 20%. Another 20% is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the cavalry is going to be disgusting. Deflective armor. The Adachi. The +4 damage against infantry for the Mounted Samurai. And then the plus 40% attack speed. It's going to be absolutely wild. But I get the feeling that Wham senses, well, he knows now anyway, the Imperial Age is in. And he's just going to torch this down. And of course, this hasn't been upgraded. With the Japanese, you can upgrade them and get massive, massive HP pools on these town centers. But fortunately, Sengoku Daimyo do not get that. And he's actually going to be able to burn this down. Look at the swarm of units. A full Castle Age play here for Wham, at least for now. But he needs to do some damage because this army from Louis is about to get absolutely brutal. Slowly but surely, he will be making it through. But the economy is still live and buzzing in multiple locations. There's the university, biology 2. Oh, that's got to be on the menu, right? Not enough food for it, though. That's one thing that actually, surprisingly enough, Louis has been struggling with. He could potentially buy the food, and I think it's probably worth it. Got plenty of stone as well, so a keep or two will help defend this economy. He needs a keep here, really. This is the bulk of his food economy, but he's not going to be able to get one in time. He's going to have to vacate and run. He's only got... Wait, has he even got a town centre at this point? I don't think he has. Louis literally has no villager production. This is great for Wham because, of course, he's still producing villagers and he's going to narrow the gap. But I'll tell you what, this is a scary force coming in the way. Oh, they're standing ready. He's protecting the castle. Understandable. But Louis has got to address this. I think he's just waiting for biology to take the best possible fight. We're losing a couple of these units. They're expensive. Yeah, just putting himself here will pick off reinforcements. So nice approach for sure. Imagine Wham keeping units at home. Going to go with the Wingard Palace. A great, great landmark, by the way. Going to be able to produce units pretty quickly in battalions. I think that's what he's going to need. When it gets to the Imperial Age, he's going to want to keep the army numbers up as much as possible. He's thinking about going though, Louis. I mean, the timing on this could be disastrous. If he went right now, or at least maybe 30 seconds earlier, it would have been absolutely crazy. But this is a good play by Wham, just doing damage and taking care of the farms because they're expensive on wood. And, well, Louis doesn't have much wood in the bank. It's going to be hard to replace for sure. 30 minutes into the game so far. It's been a cracking one. Still no idea who's going to win it because look at the villager count. Wham's kind of caught up. This is where it becomes really tricky though because this is a lot of mounted samurai. This villager's ripe for the taking. He needs a keep if he can. Oh god, it's going to migrate with a whole chunk of villagers. That's 27 villagers. Almost half the economy. Running to the north. On the gold, mostly, it seems. Wait, does Louis have a... Does he even have a town center? He still doesn't have a town center. That is wild. He's going to try and rebuild the capital one, but I don't think that's going to work. This is the monastery, so relic income not going down. Yeah, this is where it becomes troublesome. If you lose the manors, a big reduction in economy is coming in the way of the Lancaster. But yeah, not having a town center here is really hurting. All 3 sacred sites in play. 3 relics, 3 sacred sites. Gold income is massive for the Sengoku. 2,000 per minute. The food income's climbing again as well. Not sure where it's coming from though. Because it doesn't really have any farms. Oh, there it is. There's a couple of farms there, a handful. Not a lot. Speaking of farms, these ones probably going to go down soon. Mount of Samurai, if they found these villagers, it would have been absolutely devastating. But Wham managed to keep them alive and hidden. Looks like he's going to rendezvous with his army on that side. Oh no, he spotted it. He's seen it. Wham has to get out of there. That's a lot of idle time caused. Issues the cavalry is kind of trickling in, which is not really what you want for Louis. Because a good number of crossbows. Oh, the upgrades come in at the perfect time. Elite crossbowman upgrade. Exactly when he needed it. Oh, these guys are going to be slowed down. Shinobi doing their job. But he is able to regroup. And reinforcements coming in too. But Seiksai victory on the way. He needs to decap it, and that's what he's doing. Just leaving an elite spearman. Like, this is a tricky situation, right? Because he's gone full cavalry, and Wham has got the exact counter he needs. Spearman crossbows. Guess it's going to put the Mount of Samurai to the test. But I think he needs to switch away here, Louis. He's got mobility, sure, but he's going up against his direct counter. The question is, what could he go for? Potentially some mangonel, some siege? Hard to protect, though, right? Because you don't really want to protect them with cavalry, ideally. Because if your enemy just wants to push on in with spearmen, they will. And the thing is, when you've got this massive crossbows, you need a whole bunch of mangonels. Like, 1 or 2 is not going to cut it. Because they'll be focus fired. The crossbows will just target them and take them out quickly. Yeah, the cavalry can never really get on top of the crossbows as long as the spearmen are there. Okay, he has got a town centre back up. Protecting it with the castle as well. And the primary town centre. So 2 town centres. Looking to bolster things up. Wham has been on 1 town centre the whole time. And he's lost 36 villagers. An insane amount. But just Louis didn't have town centres for such a long time in the game. That's why Wham is still like only 20 villagers behind. And arguably in many ways got a better economy, right? The man is working for him. Look at the food income. 1,500. It's not often the case that you'd say the cavalry player has found it difficult to raid compared to the infantry player. Definitely fascinating game on cliffside. Oh, same place where he lost a lot of villagers earlier. Wham, not making the same mistake again. Okay, he spots it. Wham knows where the economy is now. Trouble is, he has to secure his own economy before he can really move down the south. Sengoku has been decapped. Won't take him long to break through the palisades at this point. That's a lot of infantry. And concern for Louis is look at the army numbers that he's got compared to Wham. They're just so expensive. The Mount of Samurai, and you lose one, it's a devastating blow. You lose a spearman, crossbowman, it's just not as bad. Going on the south. Just idling a big chunk of the economy, but not much more than that. We might get the surround, but I mean, this is a bit kind of dangerous for Wham. He's going underneath the castle, not ideal, and the cavalry might get a surround. He's picking off some of the reinforcements. Spearmen are taken care of there, and Wham is, to be fair, just numbers are so good. His income is off the charts, so as long as he trades well here, Wham, he'll be in a good spot. And I mean, the crossbow numbers are just so good here. The cavalry's struggling to get on top of them, and even if they do, by the time they get there, they're going to be half in numbers. Spearmen coming from the left side. This is a great fight for Wham. No doubt about it. He's got all he needs. The perfect counter. Crossbows, spearmen. And he does chew through the spearmen in the end. So not much of a front line here now for the Sengoku Daimyo. A good, still healthy chunk of crossbows, so the numbers will be whittling down despite all the upgrades that they've got. Getting Oda tactics as well. But the numbers are so low now of the mounted samurai. Sure, he clears out the crossbows, but there's going to be a second wave coming in really soon. You can just see the units coming on. Yeah, Louis needs to find another alternative solution here. He's got to transition away from the mounted samurai. That's the big problem trying to raid House of Lancaster. It was always a problem in the past, and it still seems to be the case now. But keeping this economy idle is huge. There's so many farms that he can't work on right now. Although, he won't want to get too close to the castle. Oh, this could be a big fight. Manages to notice in time there, Louis. Could have been devastating otherwise. It's always felt for a long time in this game that just one false move by Louis, and it could be the end of him. Yeah, it's kind of being zoned off the map now. The samurai just don't seem to be getting much value. Now, how can he make this work for himself? Like the Oda clan, he could potentially go to tier 2, which would give him the extra bonus health. I think maybe increasing the... I think Tanegashima Ashigaru could be nice with this upgrade. Getting +2 range. +2 ranged armor. That could be good at dealing with the crossbows and the spearmen. But it's no signs of going for it. And Wham's just following the movements of the cavalry, which is exactly what he needs to do. Now the farms are being worked again, and because of that, the income is pretty nifty for the Sengoku, up to 1,800 odd per minute. Wonder whether gold's going to become an issue. Wham doesn't have any of the relics, but he's producing a lot of spearmen. Oh, I say that. He does have some relics, but just not... No, they're not gathering for him yet. At this moment in time. Let's go on the left side. It feels like Louis is kind of running out of ideas. Bit of cat and mouse. He's going for spyglass. Getting extra vision. But yeah, the trouble is that if Louis MT kind of tries to ignore this army, then the army doesn't mind. It's going to go straight for the heart of the base. Yeah, he's in a really rough spot here, Louis, because these units are expensive. 140 food, 100 gold per unit. You lose one. It's hard to replace. Looks like the spears might just come out. Even with boiling oil, is going to get engaged. I mean, why not? You got full population capacity. You got great income in. The spearmen here devastating the cavalry. And I think he wins the fight here. Even with the burning oil, there's just so many spearmen here. Oh no. He needs more to this army. He needs more complexity to the army here, Louis. Okay, I started to add in some of the Ikko Ikki monks. Maybe if they can get close enough, it could work. Looks like trebuchets on the menu, though, for the House of Lancaster. It's crazy how this game has developed from an outpost rush from the House of Lancaster into this. Now, a big part of the reason why he's able to get so many units out quickly, and we did talk about it a little bit, but it's all about this Wingard Palace. 8 spearmen and 1 Earl's Guard. And it's so quick. Check it out. 30 seconds for 9 units. It's so hard to deal with. We talk about the Golden Horde being a Zerg type civ, just spamming out units. But I tell you what, get to Wingard Palace and, well, the House of Lancaster can do it too. Looks like Wham's had enough of waiting around as well. Cavalry coming from this side. He's in 2 minds. Maybe trying to poke the bear and see how the bear reacts. But again, he's got the White Tower at home to defend with as well. So if he does dive, it could be tricky to deal with. I mean, again, the manors, you take them out, but just need a bit of wood and you can replace them. It makes you wonder, before the nerf to the manors, the House of Lancaster would be in an even stronger position, right? Because the base gather rate. In this sort of situation, you're probably not going to max out the manors in terms of villages around them to make them profitable. Like, you're probably not going to evenly split 9 manors with 10 villages. I mean, you won't because he's only got 75, so... yeah, even with the nerf, the Lancaster is still doing great in the late game. Still desperate to find value with the mounted samurai. Oh, Villager's caught though. The economy is just looking so good though for the Sengoku Daimyo. He's really improved it up, ramped it up, because he's got 2 town centers, right? So he's really been able to build up the villager count once again. He's thinking about coming down the south, but Wham is onto it. 114 villagers. It's going to be population blocked as well soon. Yeah, he's thinking about mangonels. Adjustable crossbars coming out. But no population space for it. Just way too many villagers, actually. But he needs those villagers to make those mounted samurai, or keep them up at least. I wonder if he's going to eventually delete some villagers to make space for the mangonels. Because I don't think he can really engage in a fight, like an army like this, without them. Let's see how the Ikko Ikki monks do. I mean, they're doing okay against the spears, but the crossbows behind are kind of hurting them. The healing definitely comes in clutch, though. It's working well. He's not really focus firing, though, on this. He wasn't really microing it, so he's looking elsewhere. So the Ikko Ikki monks might be doing better than we initially thought. And maybe he's not necessarily going for mangonels. He's going for the Ikko Ikki monks. These guys are devastating, actually. If you don't focus fire them and kill them once outright, the healing really works. It's a super interesting strategy, actually. I wonder if we see a lot more of this. I mean, the torch damage is kind of bonkers, right? He's taking this down really fast. Maybe that's the missing piece of the puzzle here for Louis. Maybe he was staring at us all along. It was the Ikko Ikki monks. Yeah, but Wham, maybe he's had enough. He's going to protect this culverin and just fight down the middle, really. Probably feels confident that he can deal with what he's got at home. Hand cannoneers added into the mix. This massive Ikko Ikki monks have done a lot of work. Where are the mounted samurai? They really had a position. They're not attacking and they're not defending either. They're coming in place now. Oh, good pick off on villagers though. Perfect timing. Although the spearmen are close behind. Maybe he's trying to get rid of the culverin, but this is great for Louis. He's actually making some headway on the right side as well. The play to the Ikko Ikki monks. It's been an interesting one, and it seems to be working. He's got a good bank of resources as well. He's taking quite a few of the manors, so the income's going to be starting to suffer for Wham, although he's going to lose the amount of samurai here. The amount of samurai, though, finding it difficult to really engage. He's really going for the Ikko Ikki. But he can't deal with the culverins. Getting the outpost in the forward position also hurts. Hand cannoneers, though, they should make quick work, especially underneath the town the white tower rather of the Ikko Ikki monks. They're still pretty tanky though. Holy smokes! A lot more tanky than I would have thought. I think there's lots to be explored with that unit for the Sengoku Daimyo. Maybe Ikko Ikki rushes in the castle age could be a thing. You have to see when you guys all have access to the game. Try these funky strats and let me know how it goes. It'd be pretty cool to see. But he's going to engage here. He does snipe out the culverin. Wham, looking away for just a moment. Pulled his army away. Let's go for the manors. I mean, has Louis MT done it? He might have just, because he's got such a bank of resources. It looks like the Ikko Ikki monks are the ones that have kind of taken the fight and winning it here. Mangonel is involved as well. Should get some good shots off fighting underneath the castle. I'm not so sure about this for Wham, although the overwhelming numbers for him is still working hard. He's getting raided around the back, but I mean, imagine all of these guys were in the fight. Maybe it would be a whole different story, but they are not there. Another Mangonel does pop out. Massive shot on the crossbows. Wasn't able to dodge it there, Wham. But in the end, he taps out. I mean, he just has too much here, Louis MT. GG gets called. Maybe the Lancaster nerfs are enough in the late stages of the game. In the early stages, they're a bit crazy, but what a fascinating game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. I appreciate you guys being here. Take care, and see you next time.